Someone, and you know who we are, asked in my comment section how my bees and flowers are faring. And as you can see, you may say maybe not so good. But yeah, there are still some flowers around here. This plant actually do, if it's not freezing, give flowers even in the winter. Um, yeah, but that's not really what I want to talk about right now. What I want to talk about is uh, what's possible, what's likely, and what's relevant. And I think it's not so fruitful to ask what's possible, because anything is possible. And if anything is possible, it kind of gets a meaningless statement. So what's the distinction between possible and likely? Well, I want you to think about walking on a beach, quite large beach, that's stretching all the way you can see. And on this beach is just full of black stones covering the beach. And you could pick up a stone and ask yourself, where did that stone come from? And you can ask yourself about different possibilities. So, is it possible there is a natural explanation to why the stones are there? Yeah, of course it is. Is it a possibility if we take one particular stone and look at it and say, like, is it possible that this stone didn't come here by a natural mean, but it was somebody who picked it up somewhere else on the beach and was carrying it for a while and then dropping it there? Yeah, that's possible too. So, like, the point here is possibilities or explanations is related to the number of facts you have. Any set of facts can be given an infinite number of explanations. So why are the stones there on the beach? Well, maybe somebody transported them there and dumped them there. That's also a possibility. The thing with fact is that the fewer facts you have, the more possible stories you can make. And the less facts you have, the more stories you can make up, which is coherent and consistent. But when you add facts to something, not all stories become coherent, not even consistent. So the thing is, the less we know, the more we can speculate, basically. And now let's say you walk on that beach with a lot of black stones, and then suddenly you see one single red stone there on the beach. And you ask yourself, how did it came there and what's possible? So you may ask yourself, is it possible it came there by natural means? And then you look around and you see black stones all over. You probably won't say that. You probably will say that there's been somebody who dropped it there. It's more likely to be the cause, right? And if I add furthermore to it and say that there is another beach a bit further away with only red stones, then maybe you say somebody been at that beach and picked the stone there and dropped it there. That's a possibility. And but let's say I'm telling you that behind that beach there is a rock, and that rock is red. would you then think it's a natural reason all the black stones have come to that beach? Maybe there is a rock somewhere else which is black, with a lot of black rocks. You would then maybe propose that somebody has lorried a lot of rocks from that place over to the place where you have the black rocks. Now let's say that's a possibility, but there's also a possibility that all the black rocks came there for a natural reason. And how is that possibility possible? Well, somebody may have painted all the red rocks black. That's a possibility. But the question is, what is likely here? And you can only know that by well, you, if you know there is a beach with red rocks somewhere else, you may say, oh, well, it's more likely. Sorry, a beach with black rocks not far away. You would probably say it's more likely that somebody transported the stone over there. And of course, you can't know for 100% sure if they're being painted or not unless you investigate them. And you would still say, well, it's not likely they are painted, but they may be painted. And if they are, well, then, and if they turn out to be red rocks, then you were wrong. But how likely is that? It's very unlikely. And that which comes to what is relevant as well. If we are at a beach with black rocks and there is a black there are rocks on the beach and there is a black rock behind the beach, big rock I mean, then it's likely the black rock ended up there by natural means. It's not likely that somebody painted red rocks black. And it's not likely somebody transported all the things over there. So when we add facts to something, we can make a estimate of what's more likely and not. And what we can also say that what is relevant or not. We have a black rock behind us, a mountain, and then rocks on the beach. Is it relevant to consider whether somebody painted all the rocks blacks, that they actually are red rocks but painted black? Is that a relevant thing to consider? No, it isn't. We have to exclude things, because if we try to bring in all the possibilities, we are not going anywhere with our conclusions about anything. That's the kind of point I want to make, that you have possibilities, which is actually not really interesting, and you have likely things, which is based on the available facts you have. So if you have a black mountain behind you and black rocks on the beach, it's likely the rocks came from that mountain. But if the rock is red and the rocks on the beach, no, the mountain is red and the rocks on the beach are black, then it's not likely they came there by natural means. It's more likely they're transported there. It's an artificial reason for why they are at the beach. And that's about and that's about evaluating what is relevant or not in a situation. Yeah. And with that, I think I'll end this, and thank you for listening.